Hey everybody, I am back for another video review, and this time we are taking a look at Reveal the Shield Jazz. Now, Jazz has to be one of my most favourite figures out of the Reveal the Shield line. I know that Reveal the Shield is merely an extension to Generations, but compare the two together, it has got to be one of my most favourite deluxes out of the series. I love that it screams out Generation 1 Jazz as soon as you look at the paint scheme. The red and blue striping starts on the hood, continues onto the back, and around the side of the doors, round the rims. My only real gripe about the toy is the lack of paint apps on the rear of the car. The tail lights could have really done by being painted in red. And just a small personal preference, I wish the grille was actually painted silver at the front of the car. But looking at the toy in hand here, it's sleek, it's stylish, and it just screams out jazz. You've got some translucent blue headlights here at the front, and here some side lights in the same plastic. The rims are not painted silver, but that's not really a big deal to me. You've got the classic number 4 here on the side of the doors and on the hood. And the white is so nice. It really stands out from the red and the blue. Like I said, the only gripe I have is the lack of paint apps on the back. And it could have really done with some red tail lights here and maybe a bit more paint around there. But anyway, there is another feature to this deluxe class figure, which involves the Freemillimeter Clip system. Opening the doors reveal these two speakers, which you can pull out and move into any position that you so choose. The ball joint on the Freemillimeter Clip allows you to pose them in any position possible, depending on its limitations. Not only that, the fact that you can have the doors closed while the speakers are deployed is a nice added feature. But if you don't like the speakers, then the Freemillimeter Clip system, you can simply pull off a speaker and replace it with another Transformers weapon, like these missile launchers here. So you can have missile launchers there and a machine gun on there. So that's the benefit of the Freemillimeter Clip system. If you don't like them, then you can remove them. But they're so inconspicuous in vehicle mode and robot mode, there's no real need to remove them unless you want to add additional weapons. So anyway, let's put these speakers back where they belong. Okay, so now that we've got them back in the car, we can now have a look at the Reveal the Shield part, which is basically a rub symbol just trimmed out to look like a shield. And due to my hot lights, it's already active already, and you can tell he is an Autobot, obviously. Now, the figure does roll reasonably well, but this gun underneath here, which is a storage place for the gun, notches up the figure just a tiny fraction, so that the front wheel here doesn't really roll, and it kind of grinds along a surface. If you don't have the gun in, then it won't grind, it'll just roll perfectly. But if you have that gun in, it might add a bit of friction. So that's just one thing to note. But anyway, I think it's now time to get onto the main part, which is the transformation of the toy. So here we have Reveal the Shield Jazz in robot mode, and I must say this is possibly the best Jazz figure we've actually ever gotten. There's no real kibble whatsoever. There's this back panel which just fits on the back nicely, and the two speakers there are behind the doors, so they're hardly seen. But if you do want to deploy them, then you can deploy them the same way as in vehicle mode. Just simply unhook them, rotate them up, and just fold them forward. And that's all you really need to do. And like I said, they're posable in different ways, so you can have them in pretty much any way you want. But yeah, the doors fit nicely on the back here. You can position them in any way that you want. The arms are nice and solid. The legs are nice and solid apart from this bit here at the back. It's a little hollow here, but there's a panel that springs forward there just to cover that gap up. But it is a really solid figure. The only problem is there's no clip for the automorph for the chest, so if you move his arm up, you kind of get this, which is unfortunate, but it doesn't really knock against the figure. And the head sculpt is so Generation 1 Jazz, it's unbelievable. I don't think you could get an even better head sculpt than that. It is really, really spot on. Moving on to the articulation is remarkable. The head is on a ball joint, so it can move 360, up and down, left and right obviously, and down and up. The arms can move in and out from the body, back and forth, rotate at the upper part of the arm. It has a double jointed elbow for those tricky poses, and it has a ball jointed wrist for those little subtle movements. The waist can spin 360, but it's hindered by this back panel, so if you move it out, you can get the 360 out of it. The legs can move back and forth. It is hindered by that back panel though, so you won't get much more than that. Maybe a little bit more, but it is hindered by that back panel. They can also rotate at the upper part of the leg, move out from the body, double jointed knee, which is very nice. Not only that, they've sculpted the leg so it accommodates this spoiler, which is very good for crouching poses. Really good for crouching poses. And of course you have the foot here which you can move back and forth to just give it a bit more stability. But yeah, really remarkable articulation on this deluxe size toy. Lastly of all, looking at his gun is very simple, but yet has a lot of detailing in the back here, and not only that, features a bit of a transformation. For storage you would have it like this, and to fold the gun out you would just simply take this bit here, pull it all the way down because it knocks up against bits up there, and then put that back up. And then what you can do is, if you take the speakers from Jazz and clip them onto these 3mm pegs on the side here, you can create if I can get the clip to go on here, there we are, a new gun for Jazz, which is actually really good. Do I recommend Reveal the Shield Jazz? Yes, I absolutely do. It is an absolutely remarkable figure, great articulation, great style, just the best Jazz figure I think there is out there. And it is absolutely worth your money. So anyway, that's it for this review, and I will see you guys later.